Especially if Nessper is alone with the monk and he's not helping out peeling too much. I mean, it's going to be up to...
Oh, it's a monk TSG? I think it's weaker. If it was Druid, I would say they stand a better chance.
Interesting.
Yeah, monk is...
I mean, I don't know how much has changed, but when I played monk against this, it feels pretty stable if you're able to rotate your cooldowns properly and get like a little bit of help from your team with like fears and storm bolts and stuff. You can actually be pretty stable. A big thing to look out for in this match is going to be making sure he lines up his monk bubble with the killing spree, otherwise he's just going to be dead on the ground.
So the next map, guys, the Grand Arena. Oh, baby. It is with the monk. I'm interested to see what's going to happen there. Do you think the monk is going to let this team be more offensive?
I mean, he can just run Nessper behind pillars and in-cap him and leave him there, kind of thing, if they want to do that and just train after Pinkrangerz. But it's really dependent on how Nessper plays. If he's going to be on the DPS peeling and then pushing in when red buff is up, like that's what's the most scary. I think as long as Pugman and Nessper focus on spread pressure against a monk, it's better for them and rather than training him and kind of only dotting monk. So I think Nesper's team needs to play a bit more conservative and not just run at Adrian, but they could prove me wrong very easily. Nessper pushing in, going to get the sap on Balerîon, early cheap shot onto Adrian, Adrenaline Rush coming out as well, going to be doing a lot of damage into the half kidney shot. The Haunt connects, full dots are up, 50% HP, Chi Torpedo comes out, he's trying to get some Surging Mists off, 40% HP, trying to just kite away, he's going to portal to the other side, should be able to recover his HP for now. Clone going out onto Magnusz, Nessper is choosing to just tunnel after Adrian, the in cap comes out, he's going to trinket it, and he didn't get the evasion up quick enough, he got leg swept right before the evasion, unfortunately, so Nesper's not going to have that cooldown available for later to try and avoid CC. Stormball onto Pinkrangerz, the Hex follow-up onto Nessper, actually. Interesting that he didn't decide to go to it on Pinkrangerz, and Adrian in a lot of trouble on this kidney, 40% HP. Chi Torpedo again, trying to kite as much as he can. Nessper not quite able to do enough damage, but as I say, at 30% HP, a DR'd in-cap comes out. He just managed to fake the counterspell, I believe, but the Life Cocoon comes out nonetheless, and he should be able to top himself.
Yeah, he's going to top himself, but like I said, Nessper still has his killing spree available, so it's going to be big trouble once that monk bubble expires, which is dud. Here comes the killing spree. Adrian down to around 40%, trying desperately to kite into that Garrote. He does have to pop his Fortifying Brew as well. He does have that port available whenever he needs it. He uses his Aura Mastery, so he's used a lot of cooldowns to survive. Good leg sweep on a Nessper, trying to just get away while he can, and he still has that port available for whenever Nessper reconnects, but he had to use a lot there. I mean, all he really has left is his trinket for now, and he's caught into that full kidney.
With the Halter on his DPS, he's completely alone. He portals away, chooses to use the Revival, but it does eat a UA Dispel, and now he's got to throw Nessper into the in-cap. He doesn't have Legacy for 20 seconds. He needs to run away from Nessper, the Lord of Healer training so far, and a Counterspell going out. Unfortunately, doesn't connect. The Haunt does, however, but no UA and no Corruption, so he should be able to tank him back here. Now the full kidney, though. 80s fan is pushing out. There's a fear on the Pinkrangerz, but this is probably it for Adrian Krull. 40% HP, 30%. Double Halter comes out. The Trinket from Balerîon comes out as well. He's going to portal to the other side, but Nesper's right on his tail into the gouge to stop that heal. 18%, 15%, no bubble. The in cap coming out into the leg sweep, kind of had to overlap it. I did manage to fake the counterspell. Haunt gets locked out. He somehow recovered through that desperate situation. Chi Torpedo back to the pillar to line of sight. This Turbo Cleave is still in it for now, but there's full dots on the entire team. Kidney shot again with killing spree. This, oh my god, the Life Cocoon comes out, but they're shredding through it. The Garrote, a clone onto Magnusz. He's not going to be able to help. Mark for Death is up. The double Abyss, but a Capacitor Totem comes in at the nick of time. Adrian Krull desperately trying to crawl back his HP bar right now. The Surging Mists come in. UA gets locked by 80s fan, but his entire team is just rotting. How do you come back from this?
You really don't, and I think we'll see him die.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah. And I mean, you see out throughout that entire team, the RLD was under really no pressure at all. It was just a matter of time until Adrian ran out of cooldowns and they were able to kill him. I don't think they were able to force too much against his RLD.
Yeah, not much at all.
TSG. TSG. TSG.
I'm going to go ahead and whisper them and see what map they want next.
Are they changing? I hope they change. I don't want to see Turbo again. I don't think it stands a chance.
Is there a problem with my mic right now?
Yeah, you're lagging a little bit.
Leaky.
I'm going to rejoin the call. Okay.
Alright. Good to go. Let's see, I'm whispering,
Is that better at all?
Oh, way better.
Okay. Perfect.
Alright, boys, we're gonna try to see what map is up next. Looks like there might be a delay. Oh, man. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
I
If
mean,
they are going to run turbo, they need to kill the pet. Because they will not... I don't...
Yeah.
Pinkrangerz, I feel like, is doing a good job. Like, during that map, I did see the warrior looking at that pet quite often. But it seemed fine the whole time. I don't know. I think they're very vocal about the pet, which is good.
Yeah,
he did a good job.
comments.
Yeah, he did a good job faking the counterspell too, which was nice. I mean, I don't think he ever got interrupted by the pet, but it's just annoying to even have to think about it, you know?
Yeah.
It just delays time if you're trying to fake the CS, and it just becomes really overwhelming if you have a rogue on you as well as the lock pet. And if he's able to just use all his CSs on you, which he is, yeah, it becomes sort of a nightmare from a healer point of view. Especially when, I mean, it really sucks for the monk too, because monk AoE healing isn't that great. So while he's like barely keeping himself off or keeping himself up, his team is rotting too, and he has to start worrying about them, which is unfortunate.
And then revival is like a double-edged sword. You press it, you get all the dots off, but then you hit yourself with the UA spell. It's just like, oh man.
Yeah.
It's almost not a cooldown. Like, he used it, but I didn't notice it at all. Usually, like...
I think if he's going to use his revival, he's going to have to use it within the Zora Mastery. I think. So, you know, he's not going to be eating... First off, he'll have a lot of healing on himself, and he'll not be eating the UA silence, which is good. And he'll be able to sort of, like, keep his team stable. But yeah, like you said, it's not even really a cooldown. You kind of just screw yourself over if you don't have that Aura Mastery up.
And it seemed like he was kind of choking maybe a bit, because he was throwing in caps that were on DR on Nessper. He was like panicking with leg sweep on top of it. I feel like if he just like slows down and uses that off DR, he can control Nessper a little bit better than he did. Like early on, he got in cap, he trinketed the in cap into leg sweep. That was the first, I think it was the only good time he CC'd Nessper, and then that just never happened again. So,
yeah,
I think if he does that, it might last a little longer, but
I think they might. I mean, it kind of sucks too, but I think that their warrior is actually going to have to use his fear to try to CC off the red buff. I mean, if they can force an early trinket from Nessper with like an in-cap leg sweep, the next in-cap leg sweep fear can actually CC off his yellow buff, and will give them a lot of time before that red buff killing spree comes out. That's another thing they could potentially do, but no. It's kind of, I mean, like you said, he might have choked a little bit, but it can be hard when you're under pressure like that. It's a lot of pressure for him to keep himself and his team up, and if he makes really any mistakes, just gets punished so hard.
And then there was that one point where Pinkrangerz was Stormbolt. I saw him casting Hex, and I thought for sure it was on Pinkrangerz, and then it was on Nessper, and it was half DR. And then it DR'd the in-cap later, too. So I feel like that was a missed Hex. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. At the same time, though, he did Hex Nessper on that full kidney that he had.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like the DRs got messed up, and then he just fell so far behind and couldn't catch back up.
Poor Monkzz, just getting his play analyzed so much.
Yeah.
It's like that. It really feels like that. I mean, it really feels like the most important part of this matchup is like how Monkzz deals with Nessper on him, and like all he has to do is live until they eventually force stuff out of the RLD, but I don't think they're going to be able to do anything until dampening. So this RLD has a long time to kill Monkzz.
And even in dampening, RLD is like
they're horrifying. It's
too.
like
So
we'll see.
All right, man. Team still is delaying. Sorry about the wait again, guys. They have 6 more minutes left, so we're gonna give them that. And apparently he is lagging, so I think he's restarting his router.
who is lagging?
Goodness, what's his character?
Which team?
The team Waddle Fix It.
Oh.
So So I do believe that they are going to be swapping over to a different composition, though.
I think TSG stands a better chance.
I do too, honestly. I don't think as like a turbo cleave, you're gonna get. You don't have enough time. Well, maybe you do, but you have to play really well to get that late into the game, I think. And even if you get into the late game, you still aren't like guaranteed a victory. I mean, your monk bubble becomes way less valuable.
Yeah. You can't even sustain that long. You're just gonna run out of mana.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Pinkrangerz, if he wants to, feels like it looks like at least he can just drink whenever he wants. Almost like if he wants to drink early, he's going to, and you're just gonna lose late. You're gonna lose early. I mean, the most advantage you have is in the middle, like where you get Pinkrangerz in some CC, whether it be a fear or something, and you kind of global the lock. But that even then, that doesn't happen. Like unless Pugman is just really overly aggressive, fat fingers his dark regen, doesn't lay a portal down, and his pet dies at the same time. It's like the only situation he's gonna die. So
yeah, I think we're gonna need to see, like, in order for them to get pressure, we're gonna need to see consistent Stormbolt hexes onto Pinkrangerz, and if they're not getting that, they're not gonna be doing anything.
All right, they are finally ready. I'm so happy. All right, so I still have to determine what map next. They still haven't told me that. I think they probably are gonna want like something like Ruins. I'm assuming. What do you guys think? Oh, they actually want Balerîon Sewers. I feel like they need a smaller map like that. Absolutely. Even as TSG, I feel like they don't have the late game advantage, but we'll see. All right, we joined.
It won't go late game as TSG.
Yeah.
I don't think so either.
100% won't.
But I think even if it does, I'd rather be TSG in the late game than Turbo Cleave. Just to be honest.
100%. So it's gonna be Balerîon Sewers. I'll see you guys in the game.
Wait, what are you hunting?
I thought we were doing Ghostbusters.
Yeah, you did not do Ghostbusters though.
I went. I think I went like a little bit further than where you were at.
You did Ghostbusters. Let's just.
That's what I did. I did.
Okay, fine.
That was good.
We actually have such good synergy, Super. You just don't even know it.
Nesper's got an interesting furry transmog this time around.
I like his mog.
He's not pimping the swords that he usually has.
I like it.
He's a bear.
He's like, what is that? An assassin
His armor
bear?
set is very revealing. Like when I see armor sets like this, I'm always like, really Blizzard. Like, what is this gonna protect?
Who drew this?
Yeah. What was their inspiration?
Opening right onto Adrian Crawl again. He's in the center of the map. He gets fully loaded on dots and haunt. Maybe a misplay going to the center of the map like this. He's going to cheat torpedo to the side, get the Aura Mastery going to try and avoid the kick. There's the end cap on a Nessper. He's going to trinket immediately. He did have a bleed, so he wasted his trinket on that end cap. Maybe they can punish that later. He does have his portal set in the middle, like Benruki was saying earlier. So he's just going to portal back to the center, kite way onto the other side of the map. Nessper finally reconnecting now into an end cap once again, but he's dotted. It's going to break 50% HP. That red buff is building. They're pressuring Pinkrangerz, but he seems all right. The full kidney lands. He's going to nimble out of it. But he's not able to kite effectively just yet. He's lucky that he doesn't have any dots, but Nessper is just soloing him at this point at 50% HP. 80s fan gets a fear stolen. He's going to portal back into the center of the arena. Magnus, in the meantime, is rotted to 35% HP. They forced both Barkskins. Nessper into the end cap, but he should be okay.
Yeah, Adrian actually using his revival there, trying to clear off the dots on his team, but out of that revival, gets caught into the full kidney. He's going to have to monk bubble. I mean, that's Nesper's killing spree, so it was a good trade for him there. But he's still under a lot of pressure. The image puts out a second kidney on him. Ore Master comes out desperately trying to top himself, and he doesn't have any cooldowns left. He is completely tapped, and he's at 20% HP right now. He is going to port away. Is going to get some heals on himself, but the CS comes out from 80s fan onto Adrian. The Haunt comes out. Nessper reconnecting, and this could be the ends of Adrian. I mean, he's trying desperately to just get away, but the next stun on Adrian, I think he's just dead. And capping Nessper, just anything he can to live. But his whole team is dead. I mean, he's able to top himself. Well done by Adrian, but Losiro and Magnus also under so much pressure right now.
Yeah, Losiro stole a fear and threw it onto Nessper. Now into the full stun out of the fear. He has no feint. Good play by Losiro here, trying to punish the over-aggression from Nessper, but with combat readiness and feint, he should be okay on this swap. Avatar being blown by Magnusz as well. Adrian now into the full kidney shot. He has nothing available. He can't eat trinket, can't nimble. 60% HP. Magnus rotting to 46%. He finally gets the miracle portal, pops the Aura Master, but Magnus is rotting. He doesn't have anything but die by the sword left to his name. 25% HP, but Nessper's just chasing after Adrian so hard right now. He gets the in cap into the leg sweep. Pinkrangerz forced into the Barkskin on the stun down below, but that's it. They're just all dead. What can you do?
It's just really hard to top yourself. I don't know. I think he did a good job rotating his cooldowns that game and with this port, but this RLD just has so much pressure, and it's so hard for this TSG to really. They don't have a target. Everyone on their team is immune to death. It's just I don't know what you're supposed to do.
I like that. Everyone is immune to death. So that's it, guys. So Nessper's RLD, the RLD Dream Team, is going to advance to round 2. Let's see if I can take a quick